Welcome back for another video. I'm Ehabad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. In this video we'll be looking at faction wars once more, this time Shadowkin Faction Stage 21. This clear cannot truly be considered a budget clear, however the two legendaries involved were previously a login reward, Ninja, and a fusion in Yoshi. I believe both champions are replaceable, however I do not currently have any viable non-legendary champions to take their place. In fact, in light of recent guaranteed summons, I'll likely be incorporating two more legendaries in Lady Kimmy and Kyoku. Maybe I should start a Faction Wars series for free-to-play Krakens. When I cleared this, I actually just let it run on auto 3 times, came back and the game had managed to eke out a 3-star clear for me without any regearing. Today, of course, I've now tweaked the gearing. I'll be running on manual, so suffice to say, if I don't get the 3-star clear, I'll have to walk around the streets tomorrow morning to shouts of shame. Anyway, let's jump into the run and see how it goes. So first of all, we'll take it off auto. To be honest, with the first two waves, we've got a lot of crowd control in this team. I'm fairly confident we can just run it on auto and there won't be any issues. But let's get our CC going, get some damage out from Ninja, who is actually in Relentless, so we'll CC everyone now. We can hold off with our provoke from Toragi. And then here, all of these abilities don't really matter, to be honest. Just get the AoE hit out there. We only truly have one damage dealer in this composition, and that's Ninja. No one else really does anything. By way of damage anyway. But we've got a lot of crowd control, and we have quite a lot of buffs and kind of sustain coming from everyone else. I don't think Yoshi's doing a lot in this composition, so I'd say the first person I'd be comfortable to replace would be Yoshi. I think if you don't have Ninja, it is still a doable room. You know, there are other damage dealers that can take his place. He just happens to do a very good job on the damage front, particularly against the boss, so it would be preferable certainly to have him. Obviously there are other legendaries as well that are particularly good, you know, people like Gentoro, but that would require some good RNG, and you know, we're not always blessed with that. Try and get some stuns out from Burungiri. We're fairly well healed, so we don't need to worry about still got the burns on everyone. Only this torture helm was not crowd controlled. He's now stunned because of Yoshi's A1 anyway. So you can see, like, in this team composition, the waves are incredibly easy. We've got so much crowd control, be it fears from Yoshi, stuns from Burungiri, freeze from Ninja, provoke from Toragi. Like, there's so much crowd control. It's so easy to clear all the stages on full auto, other than, say, the boss stages where you might need to have a bit of a consideration about what you're doing, but the rest of it is just mindless. There's just so much crowd control. We're just stacking it up. You know, we got provoke, stuns, everything all at the same time. And then I'll hold off the freeze from Ninja. And then, you know, we got HP burns coming from Ninja, we got HP burns coming from Yoshi. So between the two of them, we can burn everyone up fairly easily. Freezes out. But the only person I actually wanted to get the freeze on was Steel Skull, and we missed it. But we got Provoke from Burungiri. We don't need to buff or heal ourselves, because everyone is very healthy. You can see we've really not taking any damage. So Nora will take a turn. We can't actually crowd control him, so I'm just going to get the allied protection shield out, just so we don't take any damage from it. Try and stun everyone. I don't want this man-eater to take a turn, because then he'll get his buffs out, and that will just slow us down, so we'll just get the provokes out. I will just get us a quick heal, and now I'm going to be looking to conserve skills for once we get through to the boss. So with the little heal that we get when we walk through to the boss, everyone should come through on full health. So one thing is we don't have a block debuffs champion. You could run everyone in immunity. I actually do have Yoshi in immunity because I use him in he's a kind of in my arena build at the moment. Hatatsu will shake it off. He has a passive to do so. What I will do is get HP burn onto the boss, then with Ninja get some damage out, then I'll buff everyone up so we don't take so much damage. Similarly, I'll get the strengthen out so we don't take too much damage, and I'll try and get the decrease attack so we don't take too much damage. Again, we're okay at the moment, but I'll still get the continuous heal out. HP burn, took quite a bit of damage. Hail burn again. Leech will help us just take heal up a little bit. Damage with Ninja. Yoshi takes the hit. Get the allied protection and the shield out. Helps us take a lot less damage. Get the strengthen and the shield out now. See, we again managed to survive the hits because we're stacking kind of shields, allied protection and strengthen. We're sharing the damage, so even though this boss ignores defense, between these mechanics, you know, strengthen from Burengiri, we've got the continuous heal from Hatatsu, and the allied protection and shield from Taragi the Frog. Between these three champions, we're able to spread the damage round. So even though we don't have a reviver or a particularly strong healer, we're able to survive a number of hits and get to the 3 stars. Ninja doing the majority of the work in terms of DPS here. If you did have any other champion that was able to kind of bring that damage in place of Ninja, that would work as well. Or if you had additional forms of healing, you know, there are ways to adapt this composition to the champions you have. I would say that Taragi, Burengiri and Hatatsu are extremely strong within this faction for this boss, for this stage, and they are all epics. So in terms of that kind of budget friendly, free to play friendly approach for clearing Shadowkin stage 21, the 3 most key champions I'd say in this lineup in terms of keeping everyone alive and actually guaranteeing the 3-star are 3 epics. So, you know, that's at least something. If you did have her, Riho would be absolutely amazing. Block debuffs, cleanse, huge heal, loads of debuffs on the boss, you know, fantastic. One thing to also note is I did make a mistake. I put out the decrease attack on the first wave, or the first turn against the boss, and obviously that boss does cleanse himself on his first turn, which I even mentioned in the Undead video, which I'll either have released before this video or just after it, because I recorded it yesterday. So they'll both be coming out quite close together. And I even mentioned in that about holding back your own debuffs until the boss had taken his first turn, and then obviously when I made the mistake in this video. Anyway, let's jump into the builds and see what they look like. So Yoshi, I have currently built to be an increased accuracy champion for arena offense. So he's really just there to have decent speed in an immunity set. But in terms of faction wars, as long as you're getting a decent HP pool, because this is the ignore defense boss, so you do want decent HP on all your champions, good speed, and enough accuracy to land his debuffs, then you'll be fine. And obviously the accuracy requirements aren't as high as 300, anything around sort of 200 to 250, so ideally around 225 plus will be perfectly adequate. Ninja, I have mine built for Hydra, so I've actually got him in Relentless with 3 refresh accessories, and I've gone quite tanky with 50k HP. I would like a little bit more defense, but you know, I'm trying to balance all the different stat requirements of having decent attack, nearly full crit, not the worst crit damage, and kind of having a blend of every stat imaginable effectively. So that's quite a gear intensive build, but you don't need this at all to clear it. When I first 3-starred it, my ninja just had throwaway gear, not even any kind of meaningful set. I think it was just in a couple of pieces of perception or something along those lines. Taragi the Frog, I actually have mine in Guardian set. My idea being just to have a little additional way of sustaining Taragi, plus a little bit more mini ally protection coming through would help with the boss that we're fighting. And I like him in the Guardian set for this purpose. Obviously, I think if you're using him elsewhere, you'll probably have him built differently. And Guardian sets by no means mandatory. It happened to be that I have quite a lot of unused Guardian sets and fancied putting it on him, to be honest. In terms of stats, again, a good amount of effective HP, mostly focusing on having higher HP because this boss is the ignore defense. I did actually give him 100% crit rate just to try and eke out a little bit of extra damage because I felt my composition was pretty light on damage. I don't think you need it. And then obviously I've got a little bit overkill on the accuracy. If we jump over to Burangiri, my intention was for him to be the target of the boss, so I put him in a regen and immortal, and I made him the lowest HP on the HP tuning. So that was kind of my idea, would be that he would be able to take even more hits by healing himself up with all those additional ally protection, strengthen, shields, etc. It would be enough to get us through. It's a little bit low on the accuracy front, but I wasn't really relying on his debuffs because I had so much control from everyone else. And then Hatatsu's just in a mismatch of sets, nothing particularly special, and then enough accuracy to land the decrease attack, which I do think's a very beneficial debuff to have on this ignore defense boss. If you can bring a decrease attack, it's very strong. If we look at the skills, I have booked out the A2 and the A3. Those were the two that I cared about. The A1 pretty much got fully booked as a consequence. In terms of masteries, nothing is done. Go back to Burangiri, everything is booked. The focus again were the A2 and the A3, particularly the A3. This is a really critical skill for this boss. And in terms of masteries, nothing is done. The Frog, everything is booked. Again, really the A3, this is the critical skill to have. He does also have a decreased attack on the A1, so it's not a bad one to have booked out as well, but it's quite a low chance, to be honest. So it's not something you can rely upon. And then he also has this ability to put poisons out if he gets attacked, but since we're not making him the target, we're not really getting any benefit from that in this encounter. In terms of masteries, I have actually farmed them for Taragi, but I haven't even allocated any yet. I don't know what direction I'm going to take him in yet. Ninja, mine is booked, other than one book missing on the A1, but I don't think it's super important to have. The A2 and the A3 is where it's at. In terms of masteries, I haven't finished yet. I've started down a kind of traditional clan boss style mastery tree, and as I use him a bit more, I'll probably get a better idea how I want to finish this. I might end up using the free reset, but he's very much a work in progress. I haven't actually used him that much. I only built him into this setup last weekend, so I've got the intention to be using him a lot more going forward against Hydra, but I haven't actually previously been using him much at all. And then with Yoshi, we are fully booked again. I actually booked my Yoshi out originally to clear Bommel, and whilst I did use him to clear Bommel the first time we had Bommel rotation, or the Dark Fae rotation rather, I was extremely disappointed to discover that this A2 is completely random. So we have two different types of random attacks in Raid, and there's no way by the text to know which it is. One set of random attacks, effectively, your attack will hit a target you select, and then all subsequent attacks will be randomly distributed. So if it says attacked 2, 3, or 4 times at random, the first hit will always hit the target that you have selected, and all the other ones will be randomly distributed. And then there's a second type of random attack, which is what Yoshi has, where none of the attacks are guaranteed to hit your target, so they could both miss. And what I ended up finding is that even on Bommel, where there's only 3 targets, Bommel and the 2 bombs, this attacks 2 times at randoms would consistently not hit Bommel, and you needed it to hit Bommel every time to be able to get the clear. So I end up having to use Yoshi with Vizier as the only way to get around that. In my mind, I thought Yoshi would be a way of avoiding needing to use Vizier, because you have a 2-turn debuff on a 2-turn cooldown. I thought he'd be able to keep it up consistently enough, but because it's completely random, he can't, and I wish Player would fix that. I don't agree with completely random. I'm happy to have random attacks as long as the first hit hits the target you select, or at least make it clear in the description which type of random attack you're dealing with, because I wouldn't have put 6 books, another 4, 10, 14 books into him and 6-starred him and put that amount of investment in had I known that his A2 was as stupid as that. Of course, you'll say I could have tested him before building him, but I didn't. Too late now. And then in terms of masteries, I've gone kind of a PvP route, so he has Eagle Eye, but like I said, I'm only using him for one particular role in PvP, which is increase accuracy, and now I even have Lady Kimmy for that. I don't know how much I'll end up using him beyond that. Right then, thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any feedback is very welcome. And good luck clearing the faction. Bye for now.